Suren Singh, and I'm responsible for CoreStack's partnerships and alliances. I've been with the company about 10 months now, but before this, I spent almost a lifetime, 25 years with Microsoft. Amazing home. I've last 20 years or so, pretty much in the cloud space. I started Microsoft's then what we call as the cloud business. It used to be private cloud, a hosting business, and then later on evolved into what we call it as a massive global public cloud that we know today as Azure. I'm based out of Seattle, a suburb in there, about 15 minutes from the headquarters of Microsoft. So in terms of the agenda, quickly, who's CoreStack? CoreStack solution, the Oscar framework. And clearly a lot of talk about the compliance and the governance that happened earlier, and I'm going to continue to hammer that point. And then what's our solution? The AC3. And I really, technology is great, solutions are fine, but how does it really matter to the end customers? And I'll end the discussions with Microsoft and CoreStack are essentially partners. Microsoft is amazing, but Microsoft plus CoreStack is complete. So if I was to ask you to walk away with 3 key messages. Number 1, remember the word Oscar framework. That is who we are, and that is the value we bring to the customers or our partners. The next is AC3, which stands for Abstract Compliance and Control Framework. This is our very unique patented technology that is really driving the ECC. And of course, I touched on the Microsoft and CoreStack. So who's CoreStack? You may ask. CoreStack is a 6-year-old company based out of Bellevue, suburb of Seattle. We are a multi-tenant, a multi-cloud, built on cloud-native services with deep AI and ML capabilities, providing end-to-end governance. Mark the word end-to-end governance. There are companies who do bits and pieces in terms of cost, compliance, security, operations, and others. We're one of the only companies that provides end-to-end governance. And not only that, in a continuous and autonomous way. That's what separates us from any of the others in the industry. Let's move to the Oscar, the word Oscar. What does Oscar really stand for? I mean, we talk about cloud, yes, $300 billion plus industry. We all know it's big, it's real, and it's here. But every company, large or small, is playing a role in this cloud. While we have a lot of positives, doing things right is key. Challenges to cost, security, compliance are absolutely paramount in everybody's mind. And we're the company who has the ability, as I said before, to help you rationalize and maximize the cloud environments and all the possibilities that come with it. So 5 key areas: host for operations, security, cost, access, and resources. You cannot look at providing governance with one piece in mind. They all tie together. Operations, security, access, resource. At the end of the day, looking at any of these in isolation is probably the wrong way. Everything starts at CoreStack and should at many of the others who are looking for driving and maximizing cloud is the resource level. You have to know what you have today. So the first thing we do is obviously get a posture of everything. And then we look at what else we can bring to the table and of course the benefits that you see in here are visible, and I'm going to touch on that here in a few minutes again. enterprise cloud compliance challenges. I'm going to go ahead and do the build out here. Straight all the way. This is the subject that is of interest to this session, which is compliance and governance. It is no surprise the compliance standards continue to go up, are way more stringent, way more complex than they have been before. Combine that with lack of resources, the visibility that exists today in some of the cloud services. Even more, how do we avoid security exposures? Not one time, but more on a continuous basis, real time. That's the whole, standards going high, limited resources, complexity. How do you bring all of that into the mix? This is our approach. Simple 3-step approach. You onboard all your cloud accounts, select your relevant standards. We automatically assess you against all the standards and then make recommendations, fix it, and it just is a continuous loop that we bring to the table for all our customers and partners. That's who we are. Make it simple, make it relevant, and make it effective. And when you think of compliance, we put them in 4 different categories, starting with compliance assessment, getting a posture, followed by security posture, of course, needing the inventory visibility, access to identity, who accesses it and who doesn't on the. So, compliance assessment and posture management. And this is where you assess once, cover multiple standards. CoreStack has over 800 policies, 1,000 controls that we support. We support multiple standards. Many of them you see here listed here: NIST, PCI-DSS, HIPAA, and others. 13 standards today. But the beauty of it is you can also add your own policies, own controls based on your company's needs. Most importantly, this is not a one-time thing, but up on an ongoing basis. I'll go back to here in a minute. Security posture and management. We check for vulnerabilities, violations, and others. Same thing on inventory visibility. All starts with getting a comprehensive visibility to the cloud inventory. Finishing up with ensuring right access to the right people on a continuous basis. So that really brings me down to what we call our unique value proposition. It's industry's first solution that offers an abstraction of controls across numerous compliances. So essentially what it really means is that you don't need to worry about what controls are running there. Let CoreStack do the work for you. How am I doing on time, Ron?
We've got about 8 minutes left, okay, so I think this is the best part of it to
this
show
is what,
how your
this is what I really wanted to come to is, hey, what does it really mean to the customer? Let's talk about I've got 3 good examples. Here is a healthcare company in the healthcare industry. It's a large pharmaceutical based out of Europe. Company had a very complex environment where people were working in silos. And in order to start a project, it would take them months, and I really mean it. I mean, you know, from the data that I've been able to collect from some of the people in here, with no visibility of who's using what in terms of, and that really obviously was in some ways hampering their digital transformation. What was CoreStack's solution to them? The number one thing, I go back to what I call it, you know, the resource. We went in there, provided total visibility of cost, the inventory. Again, automation is something that is ingrained in what we offer. Automated the landing zones creations. And then how could we not have the general practices make them compliant? So that's what our offer was to them. They're an amazing customer to us. Not only they saw huge improvements in their operational efficiencies, but also, you know, 100% compliance on the general, you know, practices on the cloud here. We have the same situation emerging with or driving or successfully driving with another company who happens to be in the healthcare industry. Also, this is a local in the US. They were in the pharma, they're in the healthcare. Their cloud spend started with relatively small. In just about 12 months, with the solutions that they have been able to maximize their cloud environment and what we were able to offer, today they are 10x the number of their cloud spend. It's the confidence that we built, allowing them to go where they need to be, and they are able to maximize what they have today. So both pharmaceutical care company and healthcare company. Let's look at another example. Financial services. This is company, CAMS. It's in the business of bringing innovative services to investors and distributors. They needed help. Clearly, they wanted to leverage I can't tell you, I mean, the cost that they were, you know, clearly, I mean, you know, cost was a major issue for them. And that was one of the things that probably wasn't helping them as they were moving to the cloud. And of course, being in financial services, compliance and risks are key to them, to their business. Pretty much that's core to their business existence. CoreStack, ability to leverage, you know, we went in, leverage all the cloud native services that are described above. That's pretty much the underpinning of this company. And we were the one-stop shop to provide solutions to all of their compliance and governance. At the end of it, when we all got done, improvement in costs, and obviously 100% compliance in their PCI. And that pretty much, you know, at the end of it, you know, it's all about increasing the trust of their customers and the stakeholders. That was probably the most significant return that they got, which clearly is the foundation for their growth going forward. Here's a little bit about someone local, US Federal. We play in the healthcare, we play in the financials, also in the public sector. Manual auditing of all security controls. Clearly an a very inefficient environment. CoreStack's enterprise compliance enabled them to drive continuous compliances, and obviously that, I mean, over time, that has resulted in increased cloud adoption. at the end of it, significantly improved operational efficiencies and 100% compliance in the cloud. So in summary, we have a great solution for enterprise compliance. You assess one and get your postures on multiple standards that you saw earlier in the service level compliance. The solution that we offer today reduces compliance cost by 50% through the automation that we have. And of course, that's the one part of it. The bigger picture is what I described before, is the end-to-end governance across multiple aspects of helping the customers maximize their cloud environment. Both in terms, all in terms of cost, operational efficiencies, compliance. In terms of partnership, we are a Microsoft Gold partner. We are AWS technology as well as cloud competency partner and Google Cloud partner today. For all relevant discussions, obviously this is all about Microsoft. That has been home to me, and our partnership runs with Microsoft deep and wide. Multiple engagements happening with them on building unique solutions, as well as many of the go-to-market motions that we have in place. Company has been healthily, recognized by many of the other independent entities. We are doing well and will continue to. For Microsofties, we are listed in Azure Marketplace, not only listing in Marketplace, but we're also transactable. It also has a free trial offer for the ones who may choose to try this out.